comes to insurance, there's a few things that I wanted to bring up. Now, I did have a client who reached out to me this month or this week, and he asked me a question which I wanted to address because I think this is important. He was mentioning how patients more this year than before have asked that question about, will you join a certain insurance? So their employer's looking at a new insurance for next year, and they want to know if this dentist is going to join the insurance plan. And they want to be sensitive to handling this for the patient, but of course they don't want to join the plan. Hopefully you're not looking to join more dental plans, become in network for more. Hopefully you're looking to get out, but you still want to be sensitive to the patient. So one of the suggestions I had was that you explain to the patient in a positive way that really you've looked at this insurance plan, whether you have or haven't. You know more than likely that the insurance is not going to pay what we expect. And that you really can't, your doctor or the doctor can say, we've looked at it and it just doesn't make good business sense. Now, as you know, I'm not about scripts. So what I'm about to read to you or talk about here is not something you have to say verbatim. It's just a general idea. But the idea is that you basically want to play up how great your office is and how bad the insurance company is or how bad their payments are, because we want to be the good guy. We want the insurance company to be the bad guy. So, thank you for suggesting XYZ insurance company, and we've looked into joining that insurance because we would love to help our patients out who have that plan. But there's really just no way that we can consider doing it because they pay the dentist in network for way less or significantly less than we can afford to do to offer you the same care that we do in our office. Most insurance companies make dentists, lower their fees. In turn, that's going to make us cut our quality and cut our service for you, and we just don't want to do that. So as much as we would love to consider joining it, we just can't, and I'm sure you, Mr. Patient, wouldn't want a lower standard of care from us. So we appreciate your suggestion, but at this point, we just can't consider that. So what we're trying to do is just play up the fact that you're getting really good quality care here, and you don't want to jeopardize that, and that we would consider it, but we really just can't, and make the insurance company the bad guy. Couple other things is just making sure that, your team by default will probably assume, especially the non-insurance trained employees, the ones that don't know as much about insurance, that all insurance is renewing at the end of December. And even though the majority of the insurances do renew, not all of them renew in December, as you guys know. So we want to make sure that we're double checking that. You want to make sure that your dental assistants, hygienists, and doctors are not telling the patient, great, you can get this done this year and then you'll get new insurance in January. So make sure we're conscious of the renewal month. Also be really careful of patients who want to try to bill something out this year but do it next year. And what I find is it's usually when they have a flex spending card or an HSA card. So they want to bill it out this year so they can use their HSA or flex card this year or the money in it, but they don't want it submitted to the insurance until next year. That's not okay. That's insurance fraud. So when it's done, it needs to be billed the day it's done. And the patient needs to decide which is more valuable, using your flex spending or your HSA money or using your insurance next year. So make sure that your team's really conscious of that and can handle that question immediately up front or comfortably up front, because you don't want a patient kind of thinking that you would do that, because then it just is going to cause problems later. Lastly, make sure that the patients pay their portion this month. So I learned this personally. We had a new patient come in and they wanted to use their insurance and they wanted to get all of the fillings that they needed done before they left to go out of town. So we thought, awesome, our associate had time in the schedule, we verified the insurance, we're good to go. We went ahead and did, I don't remember, it was like 6 or 7 fillings in December. Patient wrote us a check, patient left. 2 or 3 days later, we got a notice from the bank that they did a stop payment on the check and the patient went out of town and we never saw them again. So just be really careful of patients who are coming in at this time of the year who you don't have a history with and doing dentistry on them, assuming, because we did get paid by the insurance, but we didn't get paid in full. So basically we just did the insurance portion of the fillings. So if you have anyone that you're suspicious about, or maybe a policy for all your new patients, what we wrote after that happened to, it was actually me, what happened to me was that new patients coming in like that, we needed to run a credit card or do cash because it's too easy for them to do a stop payment on the check. So just be conscious of that when you have new patients coming in that you don't have a history with.